All right, let's see. It's Monday. What is it? The 26th of August, whatever this Monday is. I believe it's 26th. It's been that way all day, I suppose. Um, so today's going to be an exciting day for me, possibly. We are going to likely do our first ever honey harvest. Oh, that was harder to get out than it ought to have been. So if when I open this up, um, the frame that has had brood on it in my honey box up here, if that brood has all emerged, then I'm going to pull that honey and we'll just have 7 frames of honey to harvest. And then I believe, I don't have any proof of it yet, other than one thing that I saw. I should put this on before I put all my books on here. So what I think we got here was a little bit of a second nectar flow. Technology. What I think we got here was at least there were some plants, maybe knapweed, which we get quite a bit of in this area, or something, because I took a peek yesterday, no, on Saturday. I took a peek and the brood was starting to emerge out of that frame, but they had put some nectar in it that was not there before because it was brewed before. So I don't know if we had a second nectar flow or if we just still have some plants that are in nectar. I know we do have quite a bit of goldenrod out back. Now I have smoked these guys 2 minutes early, so they should be pretty good and calm. But today I'm going to be harvesting some honey, so we'll see how long they're calm. But yeah, I'm excited. If all goes well, I am going to pull this box, and I have a tote over there with a lid on it. One thing I am going to be cautious of today is before I decide what I'm going to do with this upper box fully, I'm going to check the bottom two, and based on how they look, this could change because they obviously have to have enough honey to get through the winter. But I will tell you that my other hive over here that has been feeding is really already almost ready for winter. Like, I'm not a pro feed person, but in fact, I'm going to leave that lid on. I don't like to feed. I think it's, it's kind of like fast food for bees, is my opinion. Just my opinion. But two things are going to have me feed this year. One was that hive went queenless for a very long time, so there's no way to get them to winter without feeding them. This hive did the same, and there is enough honey in this box if I wanted to get crazy that I could harvest, or I mean that I could leave them and not have to feed them, if that's making any sense. But what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to look and see how we're looking here. I'm going to give an assessment, and they had a lot of brood up here, which means that these middle frames are going to really be kind of empty or still releasing brood. Based on what I see down here, I know that I'm going to have to feed them a little bit if I take this honey. And so that's my quandary here is, see, but they're bringing in nectar still. I mean, that is almost a full frame of nectar. Okay, so the alarm bells have sounded. They know I'm in here. All right, this brood has emerged and they're backfilling it with nectar. They got a lot of pollen here. They have a lot of honey up here right now. Now, what I'm hoping to not see up here is my queen. I do not want to see a bunch of eggs, larvae, coming up. And this one is just a full frame of brood. This one's a bunch of brood that's hatching out. But it does have some larvae still. And some eggs, in fact. She may be upstairs. Drives me nuts. I actually brought the queen excluder that if I saw her up here, I might try to just do a queen excluder downstairs because she's driving me nuts. She's laying this thing out and they got to backfill it with nectar. Yeah, this is all eggs. God dang it. Queen? It's not a Yas Queen thing. I'm almost positive she's up here, in fact. She's laid this whole daggum thing out. The good news is, I mean, she definitely has not calmed down for the winter, I'll tell you that much. And so they're going to have plenty when I feed them to fill this up. Yeah. I mean, come on, lady. We're supposed to be winding it down, aren't we? But they are still bringing in natural nectar too, which is awesome. Because I really do want them to have as much of their honey as we can. But frankly, I also really want to harvest my first honey. Um, and I may just decide to do only like 3 or 4 frames of honey and then just bank the rest or put it back in here. But they have enough time to get to winter, and this hive is repopulated enough that I think we would be okay. All right. This hive is just such a pain in my booty. I just don't do anything according to the books. This is all brood. They got honey now to the outside. They really have a lot of honey to the outside. And the thing is, when I shake these bees down, this hive is going to get really populated. And so if I start feeding them, they're going to have plenty of bees in here to get them through to winter, to cap all this and get it through to winter. Yeah, this is a great frame right here. It's got pollen, nectar, about to have a bunch of capped honey on it. Yeah, this is doing really well. So I think that's what I'm going to do is I'm just going to actually harvest um, that frame down into here. Um, and then I'm going to feed these guys. Um, and the reason I'm going to do that is because that frame has honey on it quite a bit already. Because this frame's great. This one will be ready here anytime. So I am not going to screw around looking for my queen. I've got my plan. I need to pull a frame. And then I'm gonna actually pull 2 frames, I think, because one's for the feeder and one's gonna be to put that one downstairs. Ooh, I'm not about to piss these ladies off though. Ooh, sorry, Mama. Okay, so what I'll do here, well, that one's got brood on it, so I definitely can't pull that one. So I think I'm going to take this frame out, and this actually has a bunch of nectar on it. I'll put this in the honey bank. Yeah, I'll probably put this one actually up here and take it with me. Okay, so that's what I'm going to do with that one. I'm trying really hard to stop and just think through because, moving fast is usually my sin for sure. And actually, I think I'm going to leave them just like that. And I'm going to put a feeder in. So I'm going to drop this down in here. Yep. I'm going to do that. Then okay, let me try to turn this a little bit here if I can. Hopefully I'm getting my shot here. This is my honey box. I, kind of used a whole super or a whole medium deep box as my honey super this year because, frankly, my honey super just wasn't super. And when we started declining population, I ended up combining hives a little bit. So that's why I have that situation. Okay, what did I decide I'm going to do here? I am going to go ahead. It already has 8 in it. And I'm going to pull that one extra. Okay, that's what I'm doing here. Really got to think this stuff through, man, because once you shake these girls off, they are going to get violent. And not violent, but they're going to get excited. I shouldn't make it sound like my bees are violent because they're absolutely not. Okay. So I'm going to real quick drop this in my tub that I have back here that has honey and nectar frames. And in fact, if I wanted to, I could drop this one in my other hive and let them just kind of work it out. Okay, so now let me think. Let's get rid of this. Let's get rid of this because we really don't need it. Oh, they're already on it. I thought I might have to drop in a frame for them to start filling up, but I don't think I'm going to do that. So I'm just going to put that frame away, and then that'll let me pull this box. Da, da, da. My girls are so good today. I've also been trying to remove the temptation. I mean, it's honey season, so they're going to be protective of their honey. And so, I don't want to give them reasons to sting me. I don't want to give them reasons to be upset. but I gotta so I gotta just think this through and make sure that I do this in the most efficient and least obtrusive way. So because I have to dump them in, I can't put the lid on just yet. Okay. So what I'm going to do is, as fast as I can, I'm going to dump these girls in, and then as soon as I dump them, I'm going to take the frame and put it in my bin over there. Obviously, I'm robbing, so they're not going to be very pleased. So, oh my God, that's heavy. Oh, jeez. I am so excited to taste this honey. These beautiful white wax cappings. Really just a great show altogether. These girls have done amazing. Well, there's one, and I think that first lesson learned is bring your bee brush. This is my first time, so bear with me, and I'm trying to move a little fast because I just don't want all this. I don't want to like get all this robbing going. So yeah, and I can hear them buzzing around me now. They definitely are saying, "Hey, Jack, what are you doing?" I was told when you use a bee brush, use a flicking motion, not a sweeping motion. Apparently, the sweeping motion is not as good for the bees. I got one bee in there in the box, and she's just being ornery. She's going to defend that whole honey stash if I let her. So yeah, these are all awesome. As you can see, they've just done an amazing job. I'm so excited to have these girls honey. I think they're excited for me to have some too. And I'll take a look, but I think we'll be able to harvest everything up here. Yeah, they're all over me now. I don't think they've ever seen me steal anything from them, so they're shocked. Shocked and appalled is what these ladies are. But, I mean, how could you not? Just look at this. Like, for real. And this is why I'm glad I'm all the way suited up and all that, because I'm not trying to hurt them or upset them. And I don't want them to hurt or, be hurt by what I'm doing here. So I am doing my best to protect these gals to the best of my ability. 2, 3, 4. All right. And this one will probably go into the fridge just to hold on to it until they're all the way full up here. And then I will pull it and let them fill it up. Because, yeah, it's mostly honey anyway. Yeah. This one I'll probably give back to him. Probably give this one back because it's got a lot of nectar in it already, and it's got a lot of nectar in it. Oh man, it pierced the hole in some of my honey back here. Gosh darn it. It's already mostly full of honey, and it's got some pollen in it, so it'd be a good frame for them to have. Yeah. Yep. So this one has a big opening on the back side of it. You see here, but it's a good frame of honey. So we're going to go ahead and take that. Scooping motion, not a sweeping motion, I was told. All right, I got 2 more. And then I'm just going to be done because I've seen eggs, larvae, brood. I don't even need to see into the bottom chamber because I'm going to feed them. I don't need to see what their stores are looking like. And this could use a little bit more time to cap, but this side's all capped, so we're going to go ahead and roll with it. One of these bees is not pleased with my behavior right now. She is definitely wishing she could get through my veil here. Yeah, I'd be getting stung right now if I didn't have this on for sure. All right, last one. This one is mostly drawn out on one side and all the way drawn out, I believe, on the other. Yep. And so all right. So I've got 2 in here that if I want to keep them for a honey bank, that would be pretty good. They both have, shoot, I gotta figure that out. Okay. Sorry, I gotta lay a frame down and I don't want to shoot. All right. I'm gonna have to figure this out pretty quick. Sorry, I know I was saying something here, but that's all right. I'm gonna just figure this out and just keep my stuff from getting robbed right now. So for now, I'm gonna drop some feed in here. I'm going to put all these girls on here, and we're just going to feed them for a week, see how well they do, and then in a couple of days we might test them again. And oh, I gotta put my feet in. Shoot. See, this is what happens when you get in a hurry. You start making silly mistakes. I shouldn't be in a hurry. I just need to feed them. So, and this is 2-to-1 sugar water. I don't know if you can see it now because I turned the camera. But this is 2-to-1 sugar water I'm putting in here. And I'm only putting a little bit in to get them started. It's about half. Oh, maybe a little bit more. And the good news is they have enough of their own honey in here too that they're not going to be like, this is all junk food. And that's the only reason what I was getting at is I think is that's the only reason I'm allowing myself to take this honey right now is because they have enough of their own in here. And so it's not going to just all be sugar water. Whereas actually the other hive, I hate that it is going to be all basically sugar water. I think they brought a little of their own nectar, but for the most part, it is going to be all sugar water. And I hate that. But if I didn't do that, they wouldn't have survived. This was just purely selfish. I could absolutely take all that honey, put it in this box, and let them, have all pure honey that they collected and all that stuff. But this year I want to be a little bit selfish, just a little bit. And I feel like giving them a little fast food so that I can have a little of their honey is a pretty fair trade. Anyway, on to Hive 2.